to you and you to the community. Today's guest, somebody I've gotten to know over the time. First time seeing her in person. She's pretty cool, but pretty short, but she's pretty tall in what she does. Y'all say what's up to Miss Arlene. What's up, Miss Arlene?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to the lounge. You know what I'm saying? Look, we got a drink. Shout out to this drink I'm drinking. Yeah.
I have no drink.
Nah, shout out to Herbalife. You know what I mean? They get me that energy right. So tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so my name is Arlene Pineda. I've been in the financial industry for 9 years now. I'm married with 2 kids.
Okay.
I have a 7-year-old and an 11-month-old. So
Ooh,
yeah, so
so-
moved out here to Phoenix 5 years ago. It's
From
been
where?
fun. From San Jose, California.
Okay, what made you move?
For us, it was we wanted to go to a new location for work.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this was before everybody started moving because of the cost of living.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so-
we saw the rise in prices, but no, we moved out here due to work. We wanted to expand. So yeah.
So were you doing the same thing you're doing now then? Okay, so what were
Yeah.
you doing beforehand?
Before that, I went to school, San Jose State, for
Okay.
business and finance.
Okay.
So I always wanted to get into the industry some way, somehow. My husband did accounting, so
Okay.
he also went to San Jose State, got his bachelor's in accounting. I started with this company in 2013, really part-time.
Okay.
Just kind of like as a side thing, and really to start getting my foot in the door into the financial industry, not knowing where it was going to lead me. And a year later, I became a broker, and from there we decided to just open up our own agency and go full-blown into it. So
Wow, okay, I like that. So where's your agency located?
So our main location is here in Phoenix, North
Okay.
Phoenix, but we are in 32 different states.
So you run the one out here?
Yeah. So we run the one out here, but we have agents that are a part of our agency that are in 32 different states. So
Okay,
yeah.
we're with the big boss, Big Meech, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I understand that. I enjoy that, man. So tell us a little bit about like what got you into this particular company.
It's funny because I get that question a lot, and I mean, I went to school for business and finance, so something, had me going that route. And if I could pinpoint it, I guess it would be the way that I grew up. I come from a immigrant household. Both my parents came from Mexico, worked really hard, made good money. They
Okay.
did all of the right things. They bought a home. They maxed out their 401ks.
Wow.
Everything you're supposed to do. But in 2008, when the market crashed, my parents, they lost their home. My mom lost half of her 401k in the market.
Wow.
She cashed out, lost another half.
Wow.
And then they both actually lost their job. A couple years later, they ended up in a divorce. And at a very young age in the immigrant households, if you're the oldest child, you're the realtor, you're the financial advisor, you're the interpreter, you're everything. So I kind of fell into that role, when I was in as early as middle school, high school. So I guess that's where it came from.
Okay.
And when I started working with this company 9 years ago, I fell in love with talking to people, and I could see a couple being my parents,
Gotcha.
like if somebody
Gotcha.
would have met with them 20, 30 years ago, things would have been a little different.
So it's personal to you whenever
Oh, yeah.
you are able to sit down and talk to somebody.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
were you able to talk to your parents and you doing this company?
So as I was going through my training, I remember wanting to learn the ropes, and they were the first people that I talked to. Yeah.
So are they a part of the company?
They're clients.
Okay.
Yeah, they're clients. They were actually my first clients that I ever had. And, you see your parents, they're kind of like your heroes.
Right.
You think, oh, my parents have worked so hard their whole life. They must do everything right. And I was really shocked to find out that they didn't have anything set up for their retirement.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember telling, my dad, do you have anything for your retirement? And he looked at me kind of like, we got you through school, we gave you a good life, you're my retirement, so.
You paying us back.
Yeah, so thankfully I was able to set up a couple of accounts for them, and my dad's actually retired now, and my mom works part-time. Yeah.
But they're set, they're good.
Yeah, they're set.
I love it. I love it. So just in your kind of personal life, so you're living off of this. You don't work a side 9 to 5 or this and that and another. So how long did it take you to get to this point?
Yeah, that's a good question, because A lot of people sometimes look at our industry as kind of like, you know, something on the side. Let me get a license. Let me make some extra income. Because especially nowadays, the 9 to 5, everybody wants to start leaving that.
Right.
You know, it's so unpredictable now. When I first started doing this, that wasn't the case. It was still very traditional. 9 to 5 was the way to go. So, but thankfully, I always watched my parents growing up, you know, having like a business mindset.
Right.
So that's one thing that's needed, I would say, where you're telling yourself, okay, I have a broker that's going to push me, going to guide me, going to teach me, but they're not going to be reminding me, you know, hey, you have to get the next deal, you know, you have to grow your business. So, but for me, my first 6 months, I was able to start making some good money. Matter of fact, I got licensed in May of 2013, and October 2013 was my first month that I made over $10,000 in a month.
Wow.
Yeah. That's actually the month that I met my husband. So I always joke around, you know, I'm like the fact that my income was there was how I was able to attract the guy, because he's pretty awesome.
That's what I'm
Once
talking
you
about.
meet
Hey,
him,
look.
yeah.
Hey, sometimes, baby, you got to jump on it when it's there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to eat too. No, I'm just playing. Don't do that. Please
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, because he had a full plate. You know, he had just gotten his degree,
Okay.
his bachelor's degree. He was going to sign on with one of the big 4 accounting firms out in San Jose. But when he saw what I was doing with the company, that's when he said, hey, you know what? As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to do what you're doing, because it's obviously working. So he started making some part-time income as he was doing his accounting. And then a year later, we became brokers in 2014, made 6 figures, and never went back. So we started making a good passive 6 figures, I'd say, in about 2017, just off of old business. 2016, we started to actually build our agency. 2013 to 2016, we were just working our personal pen. But 2016 started to build our agency. 2017, passive 6 figures, and yeah, it's been a good ride.
So we're talking about, we keep on saying business and company.
Yeah.
What's the name of the company that you work?
Good question. So we're with World Financial Group.
Okay.
And with them, they market out to over 90 different companies. So we're talking about Nationwide Financial, Transamerica, Prudential. We only work with A-rated companies.
Got you.
And then once we became brokers, we opened up our own agency within them. Think of like a franchise system.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So you had a baby,
Yeah.
right? So your first child. How was you able to function as a pregnant,
Yeah.
soon-to-be mom and still trying to do this company at the same time?
Great question. So the first time around, right, because I have 2 kids.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
7-year-old. So I actually hit my broker position as I was pregnant. And it's funny because with our group, our circle, right, with our brokerage, we always tell people, or people always, I hear the terms get thrown around, you know, plan it out accordingly, because not everyone's an Arlene, you know, because I was able to, I don't know how I did it, but I remembered that just being my drive, you know. I knew I have to become a broker so I
Right.
can build an agency, because just being an agent, it's just like being a real estate agent. You know, you're on to the next deal and the next one and the next one. It's a busy life. So we knew we want to have a company that is built, an income that is built, so we can start stepping away and spending more time with our kids. So that was our drive. But in terms of time management, I would just take a nap anytime I could. There's pictures of me napping on the floor of my office in between appointments, because,
Wow.
you know, I mean, I know you just had a baby, what, a year and a half ago? 2 years ago?
Actually, no. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
He's
so I'm
about to be
sure,
3 this year. I was like,
wow, time flies.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she was tired every once in a while, and
I don't know. She's a complainer. I don't know. No, I'm just playing. Nah, she cool. No, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Because again, you know, with my wife, she went through some you know, some hard times.
I remember that, yeah.
So just her just trying to function, and then all of
It's
that hit at
hard.
the same time. Yeah, it was hard. And then I don't know if a lot of people know, but as husbands, when you guys are down, everything
yes.
is on us at this point. You
Yeah,
know. So
definitely.
how was your husband able to function as like the man in this whole thing?
yeah, I think one thing that we're really good at is knowing, like, okay, one of us is down, the other one just has to step it up a notch, you know? So, and I also knew that if I was going to be down, he was going to have to be the one that just steps on it a little bit more.
Right.
So I'd be very careful with, if I'm ever down, whether it's just because of the kids or whatever, I don't want to bring it to him, you know, because if I'm frustrated about a situation, I feel like he'll get frustrated about it for me.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like, oh man, she's going through that. I don't want her to be stressed. So then he'll get stressed.
Right.
So we've been very careful over the years. We figured that out very early on. Like, okay, let me not complain to him. Let me go complain to somebody else because I need him to function when I'm not functioning, and vice versa.
Okay. So let's dive into your relationship a little bit, right? So as entrepreneurs, right, because that's what you guys consider yourself,
Yes.
correct? So as entrepreneurs, running your own business, running your own agency, running everything yourselves, how do you find the time to spend with one another?
I love this. And again, we've had to trial and error, right? So one thing about us is we're very schedule oriented.
Gotcha.
We schedule it all in.
Gotcha.
As crazy as it sounds, I have a saying, I always say, you can do it all as long as you schedule it all in.
Okay.
And you really, really can. So we schedule date nights.
Okay.
Julian is our babysitter, right, Julian?
Hi, Julian. He's behind the scenes. You can't see him.
So we schedule date nights.
Okay.
We can't always do once a week date nights, but we try to do something. So at least once every other week, we'll do like a date night where we'll go out to dinner or we'll go out with some friends without the kids, whether it's brunch or like a dinner, right? Every other week. And then in between, we'll do like, even if it's a lunch, like yesterday was our lunch that we had. And we try to do this without the kids because when the kids are there, you know, it's mom, dad. And I think they're crucial in business and also outside of business because that's when we plan like our next moves. And then once a quarter, we do a getaway. Just us, no kids. Every quarter without a doubt.
Wow.
So in January, interesting, but we just went to Disneyland without the kids. I know.
My wife would love you because she is in love with Disneyland.
Yeah, and you know, with the kids, you can't get on the rides, on all the cool rides, so you can't do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You have to stop by to use the restroom, and then in the middle of the line, they're like, I need to use the restroom. So we went to Disneyland without the kids. We try to go to, we travel like at least 5 times a year to like Puerto Vallarta. I love Mexico. I like Mexican beaches way more than like Hawaii.
Why is that?
So, I think it's because I would go to Mexico a lot growing up, but also you're a lot more free to do things. Like, for instance, in Hawaii, you rent out a jet ski and they're like, you have to stay within these lines and you can't go past this many miles per hour. And in Mexico, you rent out a jet ski and it's like, just take it out.
Hey, when you get back, you get back. You dig? Like
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but we do that at least once a quarter just to kind of, number one, we always also tell each other, you know, we need to date each other the whole way through because one day the kids are going to leave us. And I feel like we both saw that with our parents, where my parents, I would say, were with each other for us. But then once we were out of the house, they ended up in divorce, you know? So we always keep that in mind. Like, we have to keep dating each other because one day the kids are going to leave us and we can't be together for the kids.
right.
You know, like kids can't be the priority all the time. You know, that might be wrong. I know, I'm a little controversial sometimes.
No, I love it because, you know, you're
yeah.
definitely right. I mean, you know, that's the thing because, like I said, I have a 2-year-old. And
It's
so,
hard.
yeah, it is because I try to get away from that kid every chance I get, you know. I love him. That's my dude, you know.
Yes.
I love him, but.
It's like he's cute when he's sleeping.
Oh, man, he is
Yeah.
gorgeous when he's sleeping. When he wakes up, though, I'm like, what do you want, kid?
I know.
But that's my dude. I love him. You know, our first child. But, you know, that's the thing that we try to do is go on date nights. And, you know, and you find yourself as a parent getting so mixed up in the mix to where you forget to just schedule a date night or you forget to go hang out. You know, so you running this financial service, your brain is going constantly.
24/7.
People are blowing your phone up. You even told me funny story. She was like 8 months pregnant or so. And she was like, yeah, Darnell, just call me anytime. Because she was helping me with
Oh,
something.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to call you anytime. I guarantee I'm not. And she was like, call me anytime. It's all good. It's all good. I'm like, no, I'm all right. You're 8 months pregnant.
Yep.
I'm not getting shot through the phone. I guarantee you.
Yep.
But you really are like that. And that's amazing, man. So what got you to that mindset, though, of just being open, willing, and having a drive and a desire to just serve people?
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, I think it's the way that I grew up. You know, I've had a lot of influences in my life, and some of them probably know that they were influences. Some of them probably have no idea.
Yeah.
But I just remember growing up, like my parents working so hard, and they were obviously just working hard to pay the bills. And, you know, I had like my second grade teacher that was always there to, you know, just like, to this day, she checks up on me on, you know, on Facebook, like, oh,
Your second grade teacher?
My second grade teacher, yeah. You know, the kids are beautiful, so happy, you know, to see you doing well, things like that. A couple of aunts of mine, you know, that were doing real estate as I was growing up, and just watching them. My grandmother, she's a businesswoman, so just watching her, I think it's been watching people, and that's one of my drives, actually.
Okay.
Where I tell myself, I don't know who's watching.
Right.
You know, there has to be someone that's, whether they're following me on social media, or they're family members, or even clients. I have clients that keep up with me, and you know, they tell me, wow, I've been with you since 2013, and now to watch you. So that's one of my drives, that because I had people that I could look up to, I feel like there's people out there that might be looking at me too.
Wow,
So,
that's incredible, man. To know that you influence people like that, it's amazing. Does it get you emotional when they ever hit you up and you're like, oh?
No, I'm a softie, so don't let's not go there.
That's amazing. So, kind of walk us through. Was there a hard time to where it was like, I don't know if we're gonna make it. I don't know if we're gonna do. You know, kind of walk us through that time and how your mindset was.
Yeah, so we had a really rough patch. So keep in mind, everything was great, right? Got started with the company, started making some money. Gabe and I met. He came in full force. We became brokers, started our own agency, all of that. And I think sometimes when you have really fast success, you don't know how to handle it.
Right.
And I tell people, if you don't stay humble, God will find a way to humble you.
Yeah, man.
So,
yeah. I've had them moments. Yeah, definitely.
So that happened where, you know, we were just blowing our money. Like we were going and having $400 dinners, you know, and just going on that. I remember there was one year where we went on like 8 trips that year and all of these things. So right after that, 2016 was the roughest year that we've had.
Wow.
So remember how I mentioned we became broker, but we didn't start building our agency till 2016?
Right.
This is what led to that, because we had such a rough patch. The couple of agents that we had a part of our team, they all started dying down because we weren't there as much, right? We were
blowing them back.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
And since we weren't as active, we weren't having that consistency. So our income dropped, our agents started falling off, and we got to the point, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but we got to the point where I remember Gabe and I sitting in our car, and he's like, hey, I have an accounting degree. You know, I have a bachelor's degree. I can easily get a 1-year contract with one of these companies, and meanwhile, you build the business, and I'll pay the bills, and we kind of just get it back up and running. And it was a thought, and very quickly we said, no, that's not going to happen, because once you start to go to plan B, imagine how hard it is, you know, having that income, let's just say, and in the Bay Area, an accounting position pays pretty well, so you have that income. What's the drive to get it back up and running? So we made the biggest decision of our life, and that's what brought us here. It doesn't make sense what brought us to Arizona, but I had never been to Phoenix ever. And I just had something in my heart that told me, you have to move to Phoenix. We had never moved. I had never visited ever. And we actually, that's how it started. There was one day where Gabe said, hey, let's go visit my aunt. She lives in Surprise. I said, all right, let's go, sure. We drove in, and I just felt it. That day, we were driving in through Highway 10 and then 303 out in Surprise. And in my heart, I knew I have to move here. So I didn't tell Gabe anything. Watch this. It's a crazy story. And this is why I love the guy so much, because of this. But I said, okay, we have to move to Phoenix, and we're just doing our thing. We were here for like 2 days, and then we drove back to Cali. And on our way back, I was just so quiet, but I was plotting, right?
Yeah.
And then we were there for like 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks, I don't think I did any appointments out in Cali. I didn't do anything in business, but I was talking to some realtors, some commercial realtors. I was getting layouts for office spaces, prices. I was talking to my broker. And then one day, because we had to move offices out there anyways, Gabe started moving all of our furniture. And I grabbed like my personal stuff, right? My computer, my portfolio. I was like, oh, I'll take this separate. He's like, okay. And I was like, hey, you know how we went to Surprise in Arizona, Phoenix? Yeah. I told him, I think I'd love to open up an office out there. He says, yeah, we can totally do that one day. I was like, no, not one day, soon. It's like, I just want to go check out the area a little bit more to see how I feel. Because I'm an intuition, feeling type of person.
Yeah.
He says, okay, yeah, we can do that. I told him, I want to go tonight. It was a Saturday night, like at midnight that we're moving, right? He's like, you can't go tonight. And I told him, what about tomorrow? You know, I can crash out with your tia. Sure enough, the very next day, Sunday, I drive out.
By yourself?
By myself.
Wow.
Grab my little Honda at the time, 2006 Honda, which I still have. It's in my garage. It hasn't moved in like 6 months, but it's still there. Can't get rid of it because of this story.
Yeah, because of the legacy that's on it.
Yeah. So I get in the car, drive out. Long story short, that Wednesday, I signed a 2-year lease. I sent a picture to Gabe, and I said, we got an office. That Friday, he was out. Sunday to Friday, I was out and about getting to know people, just telling people, hey, I'm opening up an office. Hey, I'm opening up an office. Friday, we had our first appointment at 4 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had over 20 appointments a day.
Wow.
And we never looked back.
So it was a purposeful thing for you to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, you know.
So
and
it's a long answer right there.
No, it's good because you know how, you know, when God sets a plan in motion or he had a pre-plan and all you had to do was unexpectedly come to Arizona.
Just accept it.
That's it.
You know, yeah.
Man, that's good, man. That's an encouraging story. And I want everybody to realize that, you know, whatever purpose and plan that God has for you, man, just walk into it. You may not always know the full plan or see down the road, but I'm even talking to myself, just walk into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I hate
It never
change.
makes sense. No,
I
you hate change?
I hate change. It's
And
crazy.
see, well, keep in mind, Gabe's an accountant, so he looks at numbers. Like, for him, things have to make sense.
Right.
And that is I mean, I'm not saying it's the only thing in our life that we've done where it hasn't made sense.
Right.
But that completely didn't make sense where we were at. Because here's another thing I forgot to mention. We had an 8-month-old at the time, our son. No, he was a year and a half. Sorry, he was a year and a half. Where were we going to? We didn't want to do a babysit or anything. So we actually had to leave him behind in Cali. My mom and my mother-in-law took care of him for 8 months.
Abandoned her? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
No, but it was for a purpose. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. Man, people don't understand what it takes to pursue a purpose that you're supposed to pursue and the things that you got to do. Like everybody wants to be work for themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a lot of money. But then when you go and say, okay, I want a lot of money, what comes in the middle of you and that money is the process of elimination.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's not comfortable. You know, I'm in the season right now where it's just not comfortable, and it feels like everything falls on you. Everything is your fault. You can't point the finger because you're it. It's like, okay, well, you said I need to do it, so.
This is the process.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. So tell me, where is your office located right now?
Yeah, so we're right off of 31st Avenue and Peoria.
Got you.
Although we are doing 80% of our appointments over Zoom now.
Got you.
So
Okay.
We're over Zoom.
You're over Zoom?
Yeah.
So basically you're everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And then and it's called one more time.
World Financial Group.
World Financial Group. And what do you guys do there?
Great question. So we do a little bit of everything. retirement planning, such as 401k rollovers. We deal with tax-free retirement planning, life insurance, long-term care, college planning, debt consolidation, wills, trusts, and us going all the way back to budgeting, right?
Wow, that's
Sometimes
incredible.
that's where we begin with people.
That's incredible. So, that's a lot.
Yeah.
What's the top things that you try to talk to people about?
Personally, it's saving.
Okay.
Because remember the story, I've been there.
Yeah.
And I look at the money that I had made before, and in that time, 2016, we had nothing to our name. You know, we didn't have savings. So if you save your money, it'll save you one day,
Gotcha,
right? So past that, we were just talking about this earlier, right? I was telling Chanika back there, I told her, I'm cheap. I'm so cheap.
Wow.
So cheap, right?
Wow.
Keep in mind, I'm the person that makes the most money in my office, right? And the other day, one of the ladies was like, when are you going to go get your nails done? I'm like, I don't know, you know, like, because I'm at that place in my life where it's not that I don't need it, but I just don't feel like I need a lot of the...
It's just not a desirable thing at the moment. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I get it, because with me, it's like, I want a lot. At the time, I was like, I want a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a shoe fanatic. I love
Okay.
shoes. I love watches. I love Funko Pops. I will buy the mess out of some Funko Pops.
I don't know what that is,
So
but-
basically, Funko Pops, they're little collectibles, but they're like these bobbleheads, basically.
Okay.
But I don't ever take them out the box. I have like a whole kitchen, like up on top, filled of them. My wife can't say nothing because she likes the Starbucks cups. So
Okay.
she's a fiend.
Okay.
But now it's like I want stuff, but it's like I'll get it later.
Right.
And that later will turn into, a week, and then that week will turn into a month,
Yeah.
and then I'm like,
Or
oh, okay.
before, it's just like
It's
off of
like,
impulse.
yeah, like, oh, I'll get it now. I'll get it now.
Yeah.
So I like for money to be in my account and I can see it, and I
Yeah.
don't ever like my account to be under a certain amount.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you this, like, I hate spending money.
Yeah. Yep.
I hate paying bills.
Yeah. Well, we still have to pay the bills.
No,
right?
we do, but it's like, oh my God, it's like,
Like, I just don't want to.
I don't,
Yeah,
because it's
I
like,
feel that.
let's say you have a bill that's like, $600,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, when I have that $600 in my account, and then all of a sudden, shoot, I have this bill coming up.
It just hurts
Oh,
to spend it.
to
Yeah.
send it, and then to see your account, like, oh, I just earned that money to pay you.
Right.
Got
right.
it.
Yep.
Got it.
No, yeah. So I would say that's my favorite thing about what we do. Just stressing the importance of saving, because that's one thing that I tell people. You work so hard for your
Right.
money. We have to put your money work hard for you,
Right.
you know? And sometimes people think like, oh, well, first I have to have $10,000 or even $1,000. And I tell them, no, just start with anything. Whatever you can afford per month, pay yourself first. And that's where the budgeting comes into place.
Right.
And we even help people with, like the spending, right? We help them put a plan together so they can give themselves an allowance. That way they don't feel guilty, like your wife with the cups, right? If you were to give her...
She doesn't feel guilty ever.
No.
Not one bit.
Not one bit, right. So,
No.
but if you guys gave each other an allowance, now you wouldn't feel bad when she buys the cup, and she wouldn't feel bad when you spend the collectibles, because that was, my husband and I, we call it our fun fund, and we teach people about how to create that system in their household. And as a byproduct, because they have a spending budget
Right.
or an allowance, because we don't like the word budget. Budget
Right.
means like you're just restricting me.
Yeah.
But an allowance means you're allowed to spend, but now in return, that helps you save more money at the end of the month. Does that make sense?
See, here's my budget. You ready for it? I just give my wife all of the money.
Yeah, that works too. Happy wife, happy
Hey,
life. So
No, not really. I just give her the, like, here, pay whatever, and then I'll just be asking for stuff.
Okay.
Hey, can I have this?
Yeah.
Hey, or if she leaves her card on Amazon, oh, I'm going in. But no, that's cool. So listen, man, if people wanted to reach out to you, talk to
Yeah.
you, connect with you, build with you, grow with you, learn from you, how would they do it?
Great question. There's a lot of different resources. We do have an online website where people can sign they can sign up for our newsletter.
Okay.
They can download brochures for themselves,
Okay.
and they can even schedule an appointment with us on there.
I love it.
They
So
can
what's
do
the
that.
website?
So it is wfgconnects.com/Arlene Pineda, and we can post it somewhere.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure that we can do that.
we'll definitely have it down here so that
We'll have
you
it
guys,
somewhere.
yeah, so that you guys can know. And real quick, because this is something that because we know a similar person, Ed Jones. He never told me about this particular thing, which
Okay.
is not good for him. But the college.
Okay. Ed.
For y'all don't know, Ed is behind the camera. You know, but the college portion is something I never
Yes.
really heard of. So can you kind of explain that for my college students?
Yes. So for those that have the little ones, this is huge. There's two main types of college plans,
Okay.
right? There's your traditional plan, which you can get at a local bank.
Okay.
Two types. One, it can be fixed, where you get a very low rate of return. It's not, stock market goes up, doesn't go up, stock market drops, they don't lose any money.
Gotcha.
Or they can get a variable, where it's with the market. But with those traditional college plans, the child, once they go to college, they have to use it for a four-year university, or they get penalized and taxed. And that's my money that I'm saving for my kids. I don't want to pay penalties and taxes on that. So there's also a life plan, which is not, since it's not necessarily designed for college, they can use it for whatever they want. Now, what I like about that is that the parent is the owner until they want to give ownership. So, for instance, if you want to give ownership to your kids at 35 years of age, you can do that. Okay, so.
I can be a little selfish with my son.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, can I have this? I ain't got the money,
No,
but really I
sorry,
do.
but you do. Yeah. So, and I've talked to my clients about that, because I tell them, we kind of had to find our way through
Right.
life, and we're okay.
Right.
And matter of fact, it builds up that, endurance in life. So what we're thinking of doing is having our kids try to find their way through life. If they need to take out some student loans, if they want to start a business, take out a business loan, go do that. And then maybe when they're in their mid-20s and they've worked for it, we might say, hey, here's some money that we had set aside.
It's like 20 grand.
Yeah, go pay back your student loan.
I love it. I love it. Well, look, Arlene, I could sit here and talk to you all day long because
Yeah.
you seem like a cool person. You're
I am.
you're very cool, man. But again, man, I appreciate you stopping by here and talking to
Yeah.
us here at the lounge. And again, if somebody wanted to get at you
Yep.
in order to get their finances straight, what is the greatest way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I actually do have a business number, and that is 408. I still use my California, 408-500-5159. Okay.
One more time.
408-500-5159. We made it easy for everyone.
Gotcha. See, that's the number I have. So, we're business friends. I guess we're not personal friends.
Yeah.
But we're business friends now. But again, I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a part 2 of this. And on that
Yeah.
part 2, we'll have her husband on with us because her cousin didn't want to do it. But again, I appreciate you so much,
course.
Arlene, man. And again, if you guys want to reach us, if you guys want to check out these interviews, if you guys want to contact us, please look at our Message Church Facebook page. Look at tmcchurch.com or org. Yep, tmcchurch.com. Again, definitely connect with us on our tmcchurch.com. Connect with my sis on her information and everything that she's doing in order to get your finances right. Arlene, thank you so much for coming to join us, man. And we will see you at the lounge again.